Our approach is actually an approach of value creation and end-to-end. What I mean with it is we look at the process from end to end. We are there from before the signing, from the signing to the close, and after the close, obviously, to arrange everything around the carve-out program. It gives a level of comfort to the management team, right? And we really can start at pace with everything around the technicalities, legal, defining the operating model, and so on. I think that's one point. Second point is we combine growth together with carve-out. So we think about which aspects of the business can we work on, like pricing, like sales, while we work on the technical aspects of the carve-out. And then lastly, it's really about driving a pace in the business. So how can we, in a weekly stand-up fashion, drive forward the business together with the management team, build that trust as we put a higher pace to the business than before.
First thing to do is to be very clear on what are we trying to build. The aim of the carve-out is to accelerate the growth of the company. So what is the operating model? What roles do we need to create? What organizational structures do we need to create in order to accelerate that business? Secondly, we need to be clear on what are the main work streams and make sure we put resources against that so we have expertise around building out the IT teams, the finance team, or the recruitment that's required. And then finally, it's about tracking those costs, the one-off costs of that sort of transformation over that first year, but secondly, the recurring costs that we're adding into the business.
Carve-outs are challenging because they are complex and generally management teams don't have the experience. But it's also a unique opportunity for businesses to set up for success. So there is this double objective to separate with minimal risk and to enable the growth. Delivering on this double objective is a key challenge because on every situation there needs to be the right prioritization and the right phasing to not overload the management teams and to keep risks under control. The idea is to identify early on the priority growth initiatives and to embed their operational requirements into the implementation of the carve-out. We did that successfully on James, for example, where we identified an opportunity to upgrade the customer-facing tech stack to enable the sale of interconnected data sets. And this was started as part of migrating the overall tech stack from IHS Markit.
One of the biggest challenges of a carve-out is the fact that management needs to run the day-to-day business, serve its customer, already start working on the value creation initiatives, all this while delivering a carve-out, which means that you have new positions, or for that matter, new full functions with new roles being staffed or newly onboarded. So the scale of the resourcing is significant in a carve-out. At Miracle, for example, it was around 100 new positions, new employees that were hired, onboarded into the company. That means roughly 30% of growth of the workforce. In fact, if you exclude manufacturing, the workforce doubled at Miracle. We helped through the entire journey of the resourcing, from very beginning of setting up project management, onboarding interims, identifying experts, and setting up the entire resourcing engine for Miracle. And that led to a successful carve-out delivered on time, on budget.
Every situation is unique, but there is a systematic way to assess them. For example, the legal structure of the deal is a key complexity driver. Share deals come with minimal transfer requirements, which reduces the execution complexity. Whereas on asset deals, the legal structure needs to be rebuilt, which takes time. And then the assets, the employees, the contracts need to be transferred, which requires careful execution and extensive communication. Another dimension is the scale of change on the technology. Very often, the key enterprise applications like CRM, ERP, HRIS would run on the parent infrastructure, so they need to be migrated. Some situations also involve migrating product supporting systems, which generally is more complex and take more time. Also, a key factor in impacting is the level of preparation of the seller. Do they have a track record of executing carve-outs? How much work has gone into defining the target operating model? To what extent the management team of the business has been involved into the preparation?
Well, let me take two examples. So with RTI Surgical, in the carve-out, we are actually bringing across most of the company that we wanted to run. Whereas with Lloyd's List Intelligence, the parent was keeping a lot of that, and we had to build new standalone HR teams, IT teams, finance teams. So it's a very different type of carve-out. Secondly, there's the full potential plan, where in both cases, we're looking to accelerate the business. Take Lloyd's List Intelligence, that's very specific, unique challenges around creating modern data pipelines, building AI and machine learning models, driving sales across a number of global geographies. They're very unique to this company. So again, it's that interplay between running the business day to day, driving a very different carve-out in each example, and also the growth acceleration plan.
Actually, FPP, I would say, is your partner from the beginning till the end, right? To help you to set up the carve-out program. There's a couple of things how we do it. We apply our experience, right? Firstly, of the previous 28 carve-outs that we've done. So it's really about setting up that program, combining value growth together with the carve-out. It's about bringing in our own team, our FPP team. So we have functional experts in different domains, right? And it's about leveraging the network that we have. So we have a very broad network of experts who are good in the different domains that our companies need during a carve-out. So it's really, I think, the value of our team, the value of our network, and our experience of how do you build such a program, right? And I think the last thing I would say is specific to FPP, it's about building trust with the management team, because all of this is good on paper, but I think an essential part of our role is to build trust, not only between Montagu and the management, but also with the wider organization, and confidence that this can be done at a fast pace while working on growth at the same time.